This is an add-on to the previous one. So when they're showing the looking in the mirror thing, I think it's the idea of like, balancing one out, right? It's like we both could have learned from one another. And I'm grateful for the lessons. It's like I still really like this person, although I am cautious of them because of many things. It's like I also didn't forget the lessons. You know what I mean? But I'm always grateful though. I can always see that and be grateful and move along. But it's something about that. Or maybe that's it, just being grateful for the lessons. Or it's more. It's balancing one out, right? It's like the equal and opposite half. Right. So it's like the equal and opposite half. Something about that. It's like if we had come together, it would have been. Well, would it have been? I mean, it's kind of like the idea of it could have been. In other words, the reason I say it like that is just because you have to be careful with all that kind of stuff where it's like, don't ever do that to yourself. Always focus on you. Be careful with that too. But you know what I mean? Like coming from your highest and greatest. Don't seek outside oneself. But what I think they're attempting to show at this stage or this point is like the idea of, it's the idea. But I think that is with a lot of people, there's always the potential for that. We don't want to always look at the potential though. That's what I'm saying. Like all of this, you got to be careful with. It can get tricky and slippery. But the idea of, say we both were on the same timeline and both truly aligned and both willing and wanting to grow and learn and heal and so forth, it probably would have been a very helpful and beneficial relationship for both of us to have grown tremendously while also helping, because that idea is the idea of healing one another, right? Like both parties willing to grow, to see their own flaws, to heal their own flaws where they're not loving themselves, where they're not honoring themselves, and then in turn not honoring others, which in turn is only hurting themselves. So in turn hurting one another. That type of relationship, it's like, if done correctly, can be magical and blissful for the amount of healing and or growth, however you want to say it or see it, that can take place. Did I say that? Healing and growth? Yeah. And and so I'm sorry, I'm like, as I'm saying that and seeing that and as they're showing that, I'm thinking, well, isn't that such a shame? But, it is and it isn't. I think I'm past that point now. I definitely was sad about it for a long time because I think I saw and knew that from the jump or from early on. And yet, try as I may, we just weren't on the same page. But again, that's okay because it's like, you don't always need the other party to participate in that, how can I say all this? It's like I still learned my lessons. I still did my work. I have no idea if he did, but it's the idea of like, it didn't have to be so hard, right? Like if he was, but he just wasn't ready. And right, you can't force anybody to be ready. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense to people? Like it all worked out fine. In the way it needed to. And could it have gone a different way? Sure, of course, always. That's the idea of potential. That's the idea of it always can. But again, you can't force anybody, and who wants to? It's like we all have enough of our own stuff to do. Like we don't need to make it more challenging, right? And so in this instance, because we weren't on the same page and because he wasn't doing the work or showing up or being consistent or communicating or any of that, and I was overly doing that, it was imbalanced the wrong way. And yet, it's like, it actually did the opposite. it stagnated my growth for quite some time because I was wallowing, right? Because it was challenging, because it was difficult. And so when I let go and just did it on my own, it's like I just did so much better. Where if he was caught up to speed, and so it was hard for me no matter what, right? It was like, for me, it was challenging no matter what, because it was painful because I knew what could have been. And it was painful because then I had to go through learning all that singularly. And so no matter what, it was challenging for me. So it's the idea of it could have been easier if he was caught up to speed and we did it together. And yet that was not the case. So it's like no need to focus there or wallow there or feel bad about that or any of that, and recognize that's okay. So you learned what it is, and you saw yet again how strong you are. Nothing you didn't know. You already knew you were strong. You've already had to do that forever and a day. So that was familiar to me, but it was still sad to me that it was yet again doing it on your own. But then that opened up the door for healing on so many other lessons, right? Like it was just a boatload of lessons that it opened the door to. I think I got most of it out. Interesting. Right. So this is why, I feel like we can all do that with all of our relationships, all of our experiences, all of our encounters, so that we can be grateful for all of them. And it's really thanking the universe for sending them in and having me open and willing and to receive and to be moldable, teachable, willing to learn, wanting to change, excited to change to get to where I'm going. And it's like the more we do that and the more we open to life, the faster we do get to where we're going, because as we're living, we're deciding if we're staying aligned and true, what we do and don't like. Because if you're not staying aligned and true and you're not deciding on your own and you're not checking in, then we do get swept up in life and we end up in spaces, places, and time. We're like, what the fuck happened? How'd I get here? What do you mean? What do you mean? You fell asleep. You stopped loving you. You stopped choosing for yourself. You stopped deciding. You weren't honest with yourself. You left yourself way back there. You better head on back, right? Good luck. I hope you find it, right? It's, they're getting cheeky over here.
Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.